Hey guys, my name is Modi and you are welcome to Modi Speaks. I'm really sorry for the way I still sound. You may not be able to hear me properly, and that is because my nasal congestion hasn't left me yet. I'm really sorry for that, guys. So let's talk about this issue that has the left in panic mode. Okay, the left is angry. They are lashing out and they are screaming all sorts of insults. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of the Department of Defense, now the Department of War, is under fire for giving a speech calling for higher physical standards, real accountability, and an end to the woke rot inside the United States military. And guess what? He is absolutely right, guys. But left-wing media and radical liberals are fuming and foaming in the mouth because he dared to say what most reasonable people have been witnessing for years. The United States military was slowly deteriorating into a clown show. You had military leaders being more concerned about declaring their pronouns than about the fitness or the qualifications of their troops or even they themselves, and a host of other nonsense taking over the United States military. Pete Hegseth courageously laid out a bold, unapologetic plan to overhaul the United States military. He criticized out-of-shape generals, all right, because I cannot use the F word, okay? He demanded that every service member pass real physical training, okay, and said that uniform standards must be high and gender neutral and also non-negotiable. He also declared war not just on America's enemies but on the bureaucracy inside the Pentagon that has been prioritizing identity politics, DEI checklists, and virtue signaling over combat readiness. Take a listen.
This administration has done a great deal from day one to remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department, to rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit. If the Secretary of War can do regular hard PT, so can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a four-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test. And as the chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. But today, at my direction, every member of the joint force at every rank is required to take a PT test twice a year, as well as meet height and weight requirements twice a year, every year of service. Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our joint force is required to do PT every duty day. Should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already, but we're codifying it. And we're not talking like hot yoga and stretching. Real hard PT, either as a unit or as an individual. This, and I want to be very clear about this is not about preventing women from serving. We very much value the impact of female troops. Our female officers and NCOs are the absolute best in the world. But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it. That is not the intent, but it could be the result, so be it. It will also mean that weak men won't qualify because we're not playing games. This is combat. This is life or death. As we all know, this is you versus an enemy hell-bent on killing you. To be an effective, lethal fighting force, you must trust that the warrior alongside you in battle is capable, truly physically capable of doing what is necessary under fire.
He never mentioned anything out of the ordinary. Everything he said is the status quo of normal military requirements in every sane country. I mean, which normal citizen of any country wouldn't want to have fit, combat qualified soldiers and generals defending their country in cases of any attack? Who wouldn't want that? I mean, who? Who would prefer overweight, non-physically fit climate change activists to be in charge of their protection over extremely fit, disciplined warriors to protect their lives and their country? I would like to say no one, but I'm sorry, okay? I cannot. Because yes, there are lots and lots of liberal loonies who came for Pete Hegseth for demanding that the basic requirements for being part of the United States military be upheld strictly.
I want to make sure everyone understands that Pete Hegseth threatened every single woman inside the military who was violently assaulted. He threatened women today in his speech that he gave in front of all of the military generals and high-ranking officials. He's removing the ability for them to report violence anonymously. He's basically saying, if you dare to come forward, we will expose you, we will tell people your name, we will tell people what you claim happened to you, and you will be punished. Because that's what happens to women when they come forward, and it's not anonymous. That's how they investigate things. Women are able to report something, and then an investigation is done. But he wants to expose the women so he can protect the men, so that the violence against women inside the military can continue, so it will be even more reason why women won't want to be in the military, because his ultimate goal is to get them all out.
That is liberals for you guys. They will lie, they will misinform, and they will skew the narrative just to demonize and antagonize their target. Pete Hegseth threatened women. Did this woman listen to the same speech that was made by Pete Hegseth? He threatened women. How? How disingenuous can these people get? Don't they ever get tired of telling lies? My goodness. This woman just completely spewed a bunch of ugly lies and misinformation. There wasn't a single syllable she uttered in that stupid video that wasn't a lie. And you know what? I won't even dignify her with a rebuttal or a response, because that would mean giving her credibility. So, to hell with her lies. I won't even bother wasting my breath on her any longer. Next.
There's no way that you can tell me that Pete Hegseth is not trying to rid the military of women. Pete Hegseth just had his meeting with the generals in Quantico. And I noticed a few things. All throughout his speech, he referred to women as merely females. And then add the fact that he's changing the fitness standards to make everything equal across the board, taking women out of combat roles, pretty much making everything standardized. But this is dangerous, not only for military women, but for military children as well. And because you have military children who are stationed overseas with their parents, erasing the voice of military women also erases the voices of military children. And when you erase the voice of military children, that creates a breeding ground of child abuse and child neglect. And when you're stuck overseas in a foreign country as a kid, it's so difficult to get help. So this effort to erase and force women out of the military not only endangers women who are in the military, but it also endangers military children.
This is the same thing Pete Hegseth was talking about. Virtue signaling and diversity nonsense in the military. See how this woman immediately dragged children into this issue. She had to emotionally manipulate her viewers into believing her words by dragging children into the situation. I mean, if her viewers wouldn't get fazed by the repeated mention of the word women, 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 at least they would get fazed by the mention of children. Oh, Pete Hegseth is erasing the voice of women, and erasing the voice of women means erasing the voice of children. How these people manage to skew the facts and manipulate words is extremely fascinating to me. I mean, they have a big talent for it. Now, to be factual, Pete Hegseth never in any way, shape, or form tried to erase the voices of women in military. He never even attempted to do that, okay? He just called for return to saneness, return to quality over quantity, return to what the military used to be and is supposed to be. And that is an establishment for the country's most strong, fit, and merit-based warriors who will protect the nation if the need arises. And oh yes, the need arises every single day. The military is not a diversity movement. It is a battleground. It is the military for a reason. So whether you be male, female, or hermaphrodite, you must pass the standard set for you to qualify. So if you're female and you qualify, great. And if you're a man and you don't qualify, perfect. You are out. Nobody is being targeted here. It is just as simple as that. There are women who will qualify and there are men who would not. Plain and simple. Let us listen to one more loony liberal and then we'll have to move on with the video.
You'll never believe what Pete Hegseth just had to say to our top military leaders, generals, and admirals from around the world. Keep in mind, these guys are responsible for global security and they've been taken away from their jobs just to be told this.
Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations or really any formation and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are.
Let's just stop right there. He's not discussing global threats, nuclear deterrence, cyber warfare, or alliances. No, he decided to stand on stage and body shame the most experienced military leaders in the world. That's not leadership at all. That's middle school level insult comedy. He is embarrassing our entire country. But I guess that's not really surprising considering Trump decided to make a former Fox News host with a drinking problem the Secretary of Defense. It's unbelievable that he's speaking this way to generals and admirals that have dedicated their entire lives to serving this country. They've commanded troops in combat, overseen intelligence operations, and made life or death decisions not just impacting the United States but the entire world. But Pete Hegseth decided to reduce all of that experience and sacrifice down to a comment about their weight. That's disrespectful and absurd. Think about the message this speech sends to our allies. It really shows how unserious this administration really is. Real threats exist, real policy debates exist, but they don't care about any of that. All it's about to them are culture wars.
Now these guys are losing it because the Secretary of War had the audacity, the unthinkable audacity to say that the United States military should be fit, should be strong, and should be combat ready. You would think that that would be common sense, right? I mean, it is the military, not Planet Fitness on a Taco Tuesday. But no, these liberals are online, shrieking like he just cancelled drag brunch. And that is the problem. These people don't even remember what the military's job is any longer. They forget that the whole point of the military is to fight wars and to win these wars. The United States military is supposed to be the world's strongest war-fighting force. In a world with great power competition, you have China, you have Russia, you name it, okay? Half measures, slack standards distracts the United States military. In fact, it destroys it, okay? Look around the world. Russia, China, Iran, they are not holding training sessions on pronoun etiquette, okay? They are drilling their soldiers until they puke, flying live fire exercises and building hypersonic missiles. Meanwhile, in the US, you've got entire Pentagon offices worried about whether camouflage uniforms come in enough shades of inclusive rainbow. It is not that diversity or climate change or climate whatever cannot matter in a civilian life. But when you are in the military, the only identity that matters is the uniform. And if you cannot run 2 miles without clutching your knees, that rainbow flag on your Humvee isn't going to stop a Chinese tank, my dear. The truth that nobody on the left wants to admit is this: high standards save lives. Imagine you are in Afghanistan, okay, carrying 70 pounds of gear, sprinting uphill under fire. Do you want the next guy next to you to have passed his PT test because the army quietly lowered the standards or because he actually earned it? I mean, which would you prefer? That is a simple question. The left thinks that toughness is mean, but they don't realize that toughness is actually mercy, okay? Because weakness in war means dead Americans. And let us not pretend like this is anything new. It is not. Because if you go back to World War II, if you go back to the Korean War, to Vietnam War, soldiers were lean, disciplined, and feared. But somewhere along the way, People decided that it was more important not to hurt anyone's feelings than to keep them alive on the battleground. Another thing that liberals are pretending not to hear. Hegseth also called out the Inspector General system. Yes, he did that. Right now, the military is drowning in frivolous complaints, okay? You've got soldiers filing IG reports because their sergeants yelled too loud or because they did not like being told to do push-ups. The United States military is drowning in all kinds of woke. Hegseth wants to tighten it up without all the bad faith complainers, so real issues like fraud or actual abuse can be handled quickly. But what does leftist media say? What does liberals say about this? Oh, he's silencing the whistleblowers. Give me a break. Nobody is silencing whistleblowers. Rather, they are trying to silence whiners, okay? And if you cannot tell the difference, then you probably should not be in that uniform at all. Now, let me be fair, okay? There are some minor concerns I have over Hegseth's speech. His language was rough and a little bit harsh, okay? He could have been softer and more gentle with those generals. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding, okay? Yes, calling people fat to their faces is a little bit unsavory, okay? It doesn't exactly inspire morale. But you know what else doesn't inspire morale? Watching your leadership balloon out of their uniform while telling you to run 5 miles. So sure, tone matters, okay? But standards matter more. And if the choice is between polite decline and harsh revival, I'm choosing harsh revival every single time. So this is bigger than haircuts, fitness tests, or even TikTok videos, okay? It is about whether America wants military designed to win wars or a military designed to win HR awards. China doesn't care if your feelings are hurt. Russia doesn't care about your pronouns. Terrorist does not care if your general has high cholesterol. They care about whether you can kill them before they kill you. That is it. That is the only job that matters. So if the choice is between Pete Hegseth demanding strict adherence to standards and liberals crying on MSNBC, sorry, but I know which side I'm going to be on. So yeah, liberals can call it fact-shaming, sexist, anti-religious, whatever buzzword is trending this week, okay? They can call it whatever they want. At the end of the day, Pete Hegseth is doing what leaders are supposed to do. Put readiness above politics. And if that makes the left uncomfortable, good, because you don't build warriors with comfort. But as always, guys, these are my thoughts and my opinions. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or supporting the channel in any way that you can. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.